Recording how to get this number on Atlas 4. Okay, we're playing Mars Logistics before I lose my voice doing stupid stuff like that. And also I'm going to start up the chat check. We got chat to chat about. I'm going to turn off the background thingamabob, all the things on. We're doing Mars Logistics again because apparently I'm unoriginal. Okay, there we go. Should pop up. There I am. Sam I am. Mr. Man. No one's in chat. Nobody cares. Nobody knows. Do I remember? Okay, gotta check something real quick. Had to check something real quick. Okay, let's play. I've got a new game for you today. Where's my box? Hello. There's my box. Right. Now, if I know my stuff... game place. Yeah. If I know my stuff, right now, my priority is actually to get the grappling hooks in such a structure that it will be actually secure. I forgot how to manipulate this thing already. That actually should be fine if I replace that with this. Why would I do it that way? That makes no sense. There we go. Actually, no, it still makes no sense. If I, for instance, replace this with G, that should function again. So, other than that, would be wise to actually do a few things here. That's annoying me. I want it to be usable. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. That should help. Other than that, I also want to be able to access this a little bit. Ah. It's in my way. Oh. So that's why that is the way that is. Okay. Fine. I'll let it be. This, though... I gotta be honest, I don't think that this is actually handling things the way I really would prefer. So I'm going to go ahead... Oh, I get it. Okay. There is that all. But I'm going to go ahead and get back to doing stuff. Oh wait, no, it's completely useless, so, you know. Capping that. Capping that again. And popping it down probably about there. So where do I want this? Probably at about 3 in. Will that do the trick? Probably. Okay, great. Now I sound like a stinking, dingus fart. Dingus farty. Party, party. I might like this. So, where is the stuff? I recall there being stuff that I can click on to make things make sense. So far, I'm being slightly let down by my inability to find that of which I just described. What is this? A medium disc. How big's a medium disc? It, actively speaking, is pretty good. How about a large disc? What's a large disc gonna, actively speaking, do? Large disc looks like it, actively speaking, does have some promise here. So how about we replace this half spacer in, half spacer out, and check it all about. How we looking? Looking pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. And let's go over here. We got a 5x5. That might be able to do the trick. Apparently not. Apparently this thing has to be a specific application, in and of which is commonsensical. Why did I do that? There we go. That should do. And if I check controls, that should still be on all. Great. And I can even replace this with something that makes a little bit more sense if I could afford it. No, I cannot. I can't afford that, but I don't want that. I mean, that might be a good idea. But that's a sound implement. Other than that, I mean, do I have any spare bearings? Yeah, so that might be able to assist in letting things be, but I don't know. Other than that, I got the grapple hooks set to, actively speaking, work together. Probably want to try to do this long ways so that I have a little bit more space to use. Although, admittedly, some of this could probably be helped if I admitted that it might be a good idea to actually have a preferred direction, so that when this pulls back, it'll actually, like, allow me to get some distance here without having things in the way. Also, this is supposed to, actively speaking, not conjoin up as quickly. I'm pretty sure it still does the same amount. But it's funny that I tried. Yeah, no. Other than that, these are super cheap, from my knowledge. Not that much cheaper than a half spacer, but it is its own implement. So, let's get to work. And we got a bot! We already have a bot over here. Awesome. Not a stream over here, unless there's a flippin' bot. Why? So let's try and approach this at all. There we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, so how do I get this solved? Huh? Like a glove. Okay. Let's get that all nice and covered. And then let's get this all nice and secure. And I'm going to take the monorail because mainly now that we got grappling hooks, we can kind of secure it better. Okay. There we go. That should mean that we actually stay to the actual ground now. Okay. And now we can use some of these really bad flipping pile of crap monorails that I've made. Oh, this will be the real test of whether or not this is actually a good idea, so I don't know whether or not this is actually a flipping good idea. We'll see! I know the wheel seems to be clipping through it this time, so it's looking good so far. Lots of ice down there. And we have retained. Definitely probably want to get some more of these grapple hooks though, so I don't have to deal with this so often. That's its own implement. Okay. Okay. That'll do. Okay. Copy that. Speaking of which, how much does it cost? 400. It probably makes sense to buy some spares of those. Also, probably should get some more height on this. Oh, that's beside the point. We could just get this to be like that little bit taller. I think I would buy one. Okay. 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 I'll let that be for now. Actually, what? You know, that makes no sense. Why would I let that be? Probably gonna go 3 up to the right. Half space for good. Actually, no, full space. Why am I doing it like this at all? Makes me question. Probably physics. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I still need a spare space here. That reminds me why I had it faced back one. But forward. Okay. Controls. All. That would be closed. This would be open. Speaking of which, copy that. How's that look? Would that secure anything? Probably. Is that as much securement as I'm trying to achieve, though? Not really. How much securement can I get out of a pneumatic piston's full extension? Roughly the same, but also this thing's way shorter, so I could have it a lot closer. But I'd have to find a way to actually, like, get it fully and truly above, which it is at this point, so it should be fine. If I do that, qualify it, light, and then actively speaking, okay, great, we got one of these now. Why? Didn't I just do that? Okay. So far, that's got some distance. Not really enough distance. Oh, sorry. Let's do that, though. Put this out to the maximum. It's too far by 1. Which means that what I need to do here Just copy this, pull this up, and ironically, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get with this. Sparse from moving it over by 1. Yeah, it's gonna be clear there. That's gonna actually get the distance I want. I can switch this to all, have extend be closed, and have this be open. Then open that up. By same application, I could also have manipulated this to where it was actually extending to close, or extending to open and pulling into close, but that's a lot of flipping crap that I gotta do over the crap that I've already done. Don't really intend to do that right now. Anyway. Checking everything that I replaced. Okay. Okay. Okay, so how do I get this to slide back in where I want it? Okay. We're gonna spend a lot of time on this, making sure that it's done right, apparently. Didn't know we were gonna do that, but apparently we are, just because... Apparently that's just what we're doing right now. I could try and... Wait, why am I doing that? You know, that doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't I just... So... Is that a good angle? Or a bad one? Alright. There we go. That right there is all I've been looking for. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. Probably we want to go around. Although, since we got the grappling hook, it probably is fine. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know that I placed the, I placed in some hazardous terrain. Yeah, that junk right there, that's not what we want. We want to kind of have a clear path. That seems so far pretty decent. Yeah. Should be fine to go effectively this way. How long in are we? 39 minutes. Half hour on just making sure this stupid thing works. we go. Now that's what we call pulling weight. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Um, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably okay with where it is right now. I think I can figure out my route from here. There we go. Woohoo. Okay. So apparently it wanted to do a little somersault there. There we go. Almost there. Deliver bricks. Deliver supplies. 15-degree bend. Triangular panel. Build monorail. Deliver Fury cannons is probably the easiest of the group. And a long slider for another monorail. Oh, great, ain't you just fun? Oh, I can get 1,000 for that. That's nice. And a long slider, which is also very nice. We might end up finding out today what the Hurricanus does. It seems to be approaching us with a passion. And just in case, let's like go this direction. It seems to be going the other way. Yeah, it's gonna cross us right by. I got plenty of direction in this way, so it should be fine to just avoid the pooping hurricane. It almost looks like it's approaching again. Thankfully, I don't really need to have, like, a severe evadance. I just need to be far enough away that it's not gonna poop and kick my teeth in. So it's getting a little close for comfort. This thing is not helping either. Yep. Definitely don't want to figure out what the tornado does today, because I've got this thing pretty secure and nicely held. Thankfully, I can probably grab a hook down in case of a stinking emergency, but it's not an emergency I'd prefer to suffer. Anyway. Almost there. Hey, tornadoes realized that I'm getting close to my objective, apparently. I might actually have to lock down. Hey there, buddy. I definitely don't like you. Definitely gonna try and get things... Why? And how? Okay, so may have to let the Stinking Hurricane get a little bit further out, just to make sure that I don't end up... I'm gonna try a little bit further away from this thing. Yeah, it seems to be going away. Okay, fine. Woohoo! I could have added springs between all these and probably eased up on some of the... There we go. Hey, it's close again. Isn't that what that thing is? Close. Great. Let's see. Can we correct that somehow? How far can we get as fast as we can? Not that far, apparently. Not that far at all. Unfortunately, I seem to be surrounded by blank terrain. Commonsensical due to the... There we go. There we go. There we go. No sign of hurricane being anywhere nearby. Or tornado, or whatever we're gonna call it. Tornado, tomato. I have to go up. Anyway, so that's pretty sensical. I gotta climb again, but I think I can climb after this section. That seems to be pretty harsh. Harsh terrain. Huh. And for this, I get a mining scanner. So I can mine just as little as I already have. But more efficiently. Yeah. Just a little bit longer. And I'll be right there. And I'm so far away from that tornado right now, thank goodness. So it shouldn't foil my plans right now. Although a new one might pop up soon. I don't know, I haven't seen what they actually do yet. Maybe I should, like, make a mission of it. Try and actually hunt down a tornado and get caught by one. Let's just make sure we have this one. Just seem we do. Ship of Theseus. I said Pythagoras before. Don't remember. Okay, just fit. We're just gonna drive right in. And that's done now! Woo! Awesome! Great! Now we got a mining scanner. How does the mining scanner work? I ask. Scans nearby raw materials. Why? What does that do? Ah. Very useful. I'll stick that on the magic wand later. So, like, controls-wise, it's, sorry, I forgot to keep it on. Controls-wise, it just has scan. Okay. Awesome. Genuinely awesome. Glad I have that. Glad I prioritized that. Now then, to some things that are actually worth some time. Deliver hydrogen tank. 3x3 plate. Corner. Prism that's 15-degree bend. Panel 3x4. Medium sliders looking pretty good. That actually does seem like something that I can just do. Long slider. That has some great reward, but I don't want to do all that. Steel beam. Also don't want to go that far into the dark. I only can afford to go so far. Overarchingly, of course, some of these will reward me with enough to go those distances, but oh, this one's not that bad. That's a 3x4, but nah. Anyway, let's prioritize the 360-degree gimbal, because I'm pretty sure... Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, great. And the rest of this, I can actually just erase. And then I'm going to take... that. And do that with it. Pardon me. Right. Of course, I could just use this guy. Do I really have a reason to? I just got a bunch of money. I could probably put some... Oh. Well, no. That's not really something that I want. 3, 5... Oh, I got 2 of these, apparently. So... Why would I do that? There we go. Yeah. That's definitely not what I probably want to use. But... with a given or two, I think we're close. I think, though, that idea that I had with the inversion, I think that will probably get me the distance. So let's try that. Let's try inverting. I could also get one of these, and that'd probably be... I can afford it. I can also afford like 2 of these, which would be nice, but... This is a very compact way to get something moved very quickly. Let's just see what we can do here. Yes. Okay. Not looking good so far, because I have to use logic. So far, I'm not doing that. Okay. Okay. No. That one, yes. Maybe when I do that, just click on that. There we go. Let's see if this works. Nope. Not at all. It almost works, but not quite. Maybe... Maybe? I don't know. That might work. That gets it a little bit further down. That basically seals the whole thing, which I'm pretty good with. In fact, if I had to... then I'd probably just prefer to do that. But how to get it to shrink even further? Ugh. If only I could just, like, extend it out way more. Like if I had, like, one of them jacks. I'm gonna want more than one anyway. It's not that big of a shock purchase. There we go. Let's get a spare of these. Let's play this game. And then let's get I don't even think I need to do that. Need to get to the center. Heck. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. There we go. Okay. Oh. B. Ah. Okay. I mean, not the worst thing in the world. Again, I can probably solve that with just a few little pieces here and there. Doesn't really make sense to sit down, even redesign the whole thing for it. Heck. Solved. Does it drive fine? Definitely want to put back in those flipping things. I want to flip. Yeah. Definitely going to want to re-add those grappling hooks. But other than that, like, I think we're golden. How many of these? I could buy 2 more. But I also need to start buying these too. There's fuel tanks. No. That was stupid. Thank goodness I can undo that kind of thing, but yikers snipers. I came in to click on these. Okay, let's play. I've got a new game for you today. Where is my grappler hooks? Oh, where is my grappler hooks? Don't tell me where. Where did they go? Where did they go? There we go. I think that'll probably do. Although, I could put them up here for the sake of levity. And then transfer their controls to all. And just maintain them. Yeah. finally. Kind of don't like the actual books current implement. So let's see, how many of these do I have left? Enough. How many of these do I have left? Enough. Main point though, these grippers, these jaws. There we go. And that should actually increase their utility. They should all be on all. And then we're going to color this the way that it's already been colored. Color these in the way that it's already been colored. That should hopefully make the cup holder a better cup holder. Indeed, look at that cup holder. That is a great cup holder. Look at all the cups it can hold. I forgot to add a secondary okay. Let's just see. How expensive are these? Ah. Like, those look awesome. But let's just be practical about this. These are cheaper. We'll get awesome looking things later, but for nowsies, that will do. Where is the save feature? There we go. Yes, yes, yes. That should hopefully help with certain applications. Steampunked wagons. Okay, so yes, we are winning so far. Right now, I do have to do something real quick though. This mining scanner over here. Scones over here. Actually, might be funny to... Where is it? There we go. Let's say this is an all. This is also an all. Let's just see if we can do this. Let's put it to 1, and let's put the output to 1. Let's say that this will scan when it hits 1. Let's just see what happens here. As suspected. Might have some consequences. Did you finish exploring the last time? I technically finished exploring the last time, and then I had to get some things done. Either way, how do I want to deal with this? How about it scans if I hit control? That is most certainly a useful application. Though maybe I want to act like... Like, if there was just a timer, I'd probably want to do that. Just to slow it down a little bit. But right now, I'm pretty sure that would just take a bunch of stinking... Either way, we got the mining scanner, so now I can do more mining. But unfortunately, I know while yes, you wanted to see me do some more mining, I have to go out with my new Octocycle, which you didn't get to see before. Do you like the Octocycle's new upgrade? Probably that's a nah on that. But I'm probably going to have to redesign this, so even if you didn't say nah, I'm going to actively speaking redesign it. You good with that? Okay. We're gonna make it not an Octocycle, but for a moment. Oh gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. There we go. That should work. Copy. Put that back there. I'm gonna put this elsewhere, but I don't really need its controls to really be right in my face. So, making this shorter is actually not the worst idea in the world. But therein which exists a solution, sometimes there is yet still a problem. Okay, copy that. There we go. I really need to start coloring this thing up with something more than the current colors that I have provided it. Okay. That does make me ask. What if half spacers, though? Okay, so half spacers is not enough space. But what if half spacers and a quarter? Yes. Okay. Weird. Especially since I don't actually need any of that, so... Because if I don't do all that, then I can put the theolite here. And that solves that problem. I could probably stick it over here. But no. Either way. We're gonna copy that, get it over there. Because I did all that, I can re-octo the Octocycle. So, checking the controls, this is at 1. I actually want this to be at 2. I want that to be at all, but... This should be at 1. This also should be at 1. That way, everything is in balance. I could also lower this down, I think, by 1. If I could. But 1/2. Would it work? Yes. But why would I do that? When I could make it way more cool. Awesome. Speaking of which, that was something that I did realize. I can copy from this, so it should be fine. Oh wait. Jaeger snipers. I forgot. I almost forgot. I could really shrink this. How about we do it like this? How about we don't do it like what I was about to suggest, because that'd be more expensive. Quarter spacer. And a spacer. Then we round it out. Then we add the vehicular devices. And then we find where the thing is. Where are you, thing? There we are. Hello, Wedge. You're going to be my best friend now. I'm joking. Best friend kid. Why did I do that? There we go. Do you think that's an upgrade? Is it possible to use your wheel... Is it possible to use... How about I don't peek the mic when I say possible? Is it possible to use your robotic arm in a vehicular with just one wheel? I don't know, and I really wouldn't know how to try. Like, you're saying just one wheel and there's just a robotic arm? I mean, it's technically possible to make a vehicle that matches that description. I'm not going to sit down and deny that, but I don't know if it'd be possible to use it. And a more practical meaning of the word. By the way, I've got mapping out to do. So I'm going to do some more explore. Probably going to actually go to here and look to pop down something with the Theite and then start work. Yeah, that's the closest thing. Well, it's supposed to be designed so that this isn't as much of a problem, but I do cite that very clearly the Theite is in the way. That's surprising. But I just put it in there. What if I did that, though? What if I innovated just a tad? What if I changed but a single variable and enabled the chaos... Oh, the chaos to ensue. That looks like it'll probably work. So if we accidentally flip this thing... If I even can. There we go. Then we just can try and drive around a little bit. It's annoying, but it actively speaking functions. I'm effectively riding on the Theite, but I'm fine with that. Stupid piece of garbage deserves it. Still, the optimum remains the optimum. Optimum. Remains the... Bonk. Alright. Oh, I may have made it too easy to actively, like, flip. obstruction. Is there anything around that doesn't have an obstruction? How about that right there? That looks about as unobstructed as it's gonna get. And that ain't saying much. Like a motorcycle. So it is something where you have to... Yeah, okay. I see what you're talking about there. But unfortunately, I just don't think that it's be stable without the gimbal, and we're currently working to get the gimbal. Ah, so if I get it up there, it'll probably be fine. How do I get up there then? There we go. No. So let's see, any good spots to just dump? Probably about there. Even though it's not exactly in the way, it's better to be up high so that I can work down than the other way around. Okay. Unless you're saying, like, just make, you know, no, either way, it's actually speaking, probably not going to be something that I can achieve quite yet. I might be able to achieve it later, though. That's Zone Implement. But right now, I don't think that I have the resources to do that. If that helps answer your question. Because again, 360-degree gimbal, probably something that actually pushes the object that it's on either up or down, depending on other factors. Great, I'm upside down again. The whole point of this thing is to be able to drive on most anything, and it's not succeeding in that regard. It's mainly because there's a bunch of unnecessary garbage that I've stuck on it, but... I mean... Maybe? But there's still that. Which would mean that I'd need this to be a little bit further up. And like... You know. Although maybe... Maybe if I, for instance, thinks, and I thinks hard, then I thinks that I'm going to probably give myself a problem. But if I don't, and instead I give myself a solution, that's not a solution, that's just another problem. Looking for a stinking solution. There we go. Let's just copy that. Get on the routes with it. Hello, that should work. That should help mitigate it a little bit better. Okay, now it just wants to flip all the time, but at least it, actively speaking, works when flips. Because of how high up it is. Any amount of weight up there is generally going to cause problems. So how do I mitigate that? Actually, that does make me question, like... In inventory 6, on vehicle, blah blah blah, what does this get on it? Wait, blah blah blah, but if we're talking about the fuel application, it starts ahead in fuel capacity. Whatever. Okay, so... Okay, so... There we go. What have we got going on? What have we got that we can do here? Of course there's that, but that's not gonna work. What? What if... No, that wouldn't work either. But what if... it takes some work, but... it's a solution I have the supplies for. It's ridiculous beyond description. And the whole point of having central wheels that are more built off of the idea of actually continuing the momentum is gone. Or increasing velocity when I hit stinking obstacles is gone. And a few other things about this is gone via this implement. A lot of what this vehicle was is gone because of that implement. But... I'll leave that the way it is, but this does not need to be the way it is. Does not need to be the way it is at all, if this is constructed correctly. So how do I construct it correctly? That's the question of the day. What do I do to get just a little bit under? And the answer is a classic. Camry. Come on, I don't feel like this looks better. Don't know what it is about it, but it just doesn't jive with me in the same way. Although... now I'm thinking about it. There might be a reasons for that. There. That there. gosh, this is ugly. Ooh. Gosh, this is ugly. Gosh, Goopers, could I have done better? Should I have done better? I don't know. It doesn't still have a theite. No. So why the heck? Why? Why did I put this much effort to stick a theite in that I forgot to put in? Why did I do that? What was the purpose of this action, other than to add a bunch of unnecessary weights and, actively speaking, make everybody sad? Oh, gosh, I just hit. No. Okay, that was okay, I know what okay, Great, so glad there are so many hotkeys. I'm gonna go back, like, far. There we go. I meant to hit Control for copy, and instead I hit Windows key for Copilot, so that's something. I'm sure that isn't gonna be crap later. What about this? What if I use this? Not that severe of a bend. I mean, how's that run? Yeah, no. Too far spread out. Maybe if I did that. And had these on it. Yeah, it's still... Oh, that's also why it's gone out. There we go. If I do have it like this, then I could probably skip the Stank and Idiocracy and hook this up, lock this over, and then where's my theite? Where's the stupid theite? Nah, it's just pretty much a pain in my buttocks. Anything that I can just pop it down on top of is gonna probably cost me something. I know that this is a bad idea. Point proven. Where's the theite? There it is. Theite with stupid requirements that are stupid. That are just stupid. Stupid. First, I'm pressing random hyphens. How much ground did that clear? Plenty. This space is kind of weird, but I can cover that pretty quickly. Where am I going past this? Over there. So glad I know. So glad I know now. And you weren't gonna be there. I was gonna be doing this alone. It would've been nice if you told me. But I guess I'll give up. That all is wrong. That's the wrong direction. Why did I go the other direction, you might ask? I'll tell you when I figure that out myself. I know that you were telling me that Yeah. Yeah. A lot more prone to flipping, but at least it's actually not catching. The main reason why this is flipping so much is because I have all the sinking thread in the sinking center, which is bad. It's not how this game was designed to work, but I also like the design, so I'm doing it anyway. Just some of the tools in this game were not designed to be used. That's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Come on, flip back, flip back. You know you wanna. There we go. I probably didn't need those so close by, but that was a good spot to put it. Hello. Why are you gray? Oh, because you're a statue. Okay. Goodbye, grave person. Thing. Okay. Definitely wish that the camera was a little bit less, massive. It does make it rather hard to fit it into spaces. Okay, so that's the first time it's ended up on its side. That's a bad sign. Because every other direction it actually can handle, but the sideways is where the wheels can't contact. And problems begin. Although, that was a positive flip. I'm going in the wrong direction. Don't really know why. Also, just notate that, like, when you're talking about a monocycle... Okay. I'm gonna need to assist this out. When it comes down to a monocycle, the actual wheels cannot connect to objects, so it would be kind of unsymmetrical. Which isn't the worst thing in the world. But I still need to flip it set up, flipping crap. I still need to hook things up and such. I'd say that probably if I had to choose a spot, I'd probably choose that one right there. That's a pretty good spot to stick a stinking Tyler. I think... Yeah, it's in range. No, it's not. That is, though. Which... Yeah, no, that's way closer. That's in range. It says it's not. That's because it's stupid. It doesn't know what it's talking about. It's official. I'm not playing this game right now. There we go. You know. That's what you like to see. Come on. There we go. So how do I stabilize my octocycle? Because it's not the most stable right now. It's just, actively speaking, designed to actively react to being unstable by just having enough wheels to make up for its instability. Come on. On. The irony of how that worked is somewhat beautiful. In its somewhat disturbing manner. Come on. Let's get stable. That should cover it, and then I should be able to get this distance. If I can get that distance, then we're golden. Come on. There we go. Come on. Don't think that it's a wise idea to actually judge off of that perspective, because I don't think that I'm going to actually be able to get much out of it. Yeah. About what we could expect. Yeah, that's good. There we go. I really need to start killing this thing. Ooh, that worked out. No. Okay, fine. I won't activate the stupid camera again. Okay, so now that we've got this all qualified and identified and all that stuff, let's get some color into this vehicle. But I also need to go to the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to color this real quick, and then I'm going to get to the bathroom, because the wise man does not wait on such things. Let's give the springs a little bit of a white touch. Yeah. Actually, let's also give some of these tires And let's give these guys a green hit. Heck, let's give this guy a yellow one. I think I prefer this yellow. Yeah. Just to match up with the other stuff. White. 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 Actually, not since we have some red. Red. Red, red, red. Actually, that would make more sense for this. So this we're gonna make white. This we're gonna make green. Eh. Eh. Meh. Meh. There we go. Yeah, okay. I feel like that is perfectly okay. For a color scheme, we're going to overwrite the octocycle with that, and then we're going to go to the bathroom real quick so I don't go insane. Okay, I'm back. I forgot. Oh dear, I forgot the phone. My little... Imagine a monocycle that maintains stability through the use of rocket boosters. Okay, a few comments seem to actively speaking. Slow, but I've seen your comment about the rocket boosters. I think the rocket boosters might be able to work, but it would be a little bit more complicated than, what I usually do. My little cloudy is next to me. My little cloudy is now next to my mouse and is watching you. Aww. Hello, Cloudy. I hope that you are having a nice day, little Mew Mew thingamabob. Sad that you had to show up right in time for me to go to the bathroom, but hey, that is how things go sometimes. Okay. So everything should be ready to go. We have a cloudy on the background in case we need to make some days a little bit brighter or whatever. And yeah, I think it's about time to start work on moving the paint bucket, which probably gonna use the carabiner for. Okay. Yeah, definitely gonna use the carabiner for that. So that's the stupid lockpick, which I could also improve, but I'm not going to. Where's the stupid carabiner? There's the stupid carabiner. Where's the stupid carabiner? Also, I forgot to put the quarter spacer here. Oh no. Anyway, when it comes down to it, that should be what that should be. Gotta be honest here, probably. I'm definitely gonna sit down just real quick. I mean, no. No, I don't think so. I won't be doing that. And the whole point of the black is to somewhat be the base of it. And then the green is supposed to be the accent color in most situations. Sparse from exceptions, it's supposed to be primary. And then yellow is supposed to come in specific situations and change it sparsely. That way I can see specific applications upon requirement. That is far better. Thank you. I'm now aware that I am going to unfortunately have to quit this soon. But soon is not quite yet. I am afraid. I mean... yeah. Okay. 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 There we go. We got it. We had it, and then we lost it. Because physics decided to stop physicsing. Which is okay. Far from a little bit frustrating, but it's okay. You know, that whole nature of how objects are supposed to not just absorb each other. I guess was not a priority in bug fixing. Or was just not a priority that was able to be handled. It's possible. Probably to do with whether or not they actively adjusted for delta. The space between frames, as it were. Oh, that's a simplified version apparently of what it is and all that stuff. And there we go. You've gotta be kidding me. And that is what I mean when I say input sanitization. That right there, that was a mistake I made because I did not sanitize my inputs. That was a me mistake. That is what happens when you don't think before you act. Although it is something where I might just be able to save this because of how the bucket handles designed. I might be able to just slip right underneath it without causing too much fuss. There we go. Now, I'm sure that it won't physics bug again like it's about to here, I'm guessing. Yep, that right there, that is not what you're supposed to run into. That is not supposed to fly through that object like that, and yet it seems to have, for reasons yet unknown. So how do I get this object to stinking be upright for long enough that I can add a thing to my vehicle? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep the... Yeah, the handle's going to fall, but I can get the handle back up. It's just... I wanna... I want an ability to actually survive certain falls. And only that takes one tool, legitimately. And a bunch of other tools pretend like they can do what this one tool can do. Wait, I can just... That, right there, is what we prefer to see. That, not so much, but it's acceptable. Let's see what we got here. A long trek, that's what we got here. Let's try and stop about there so that we can save and quit. But I do want to get some distance with this. Preferably, I get enough distance to justify continuing forward all the way. Oh, there's a bot in chat. Oh no. Yeah, yeah, that guy's been there for a while. It is unfortunate. Okay, this... Okay. go. I've only had added the two spare wheels. That, actively speaking, would have helped with this a little bit. Although, that'll also help. Okay. There we go. I might be able to make it just in time. Well, I definitely need to work on where the actual grappling hooks are set up, so that'll allow for me to spin this thing full 160. Although that shouldn't be a complication because I have the stinking jumpers that help me have a straight line of a rotation point. But that's its own implement that I should have also thought about. I had things that I could have thought about that would have helped with this. Instead, I'm fiddling around with the giant buckets. Thankfully, the carabiner is actually maintaining its current position. So yeah. And thankfully most of these tools are actually physically impossible, so it does help with the bad physics. Okay. Like, the jacks are definitely physically impossible just because of space management. It would be rather difficult to fit that much steel in a jurisdiction with a solid bar. It seems to be suggesting that it's instead, like, kinematic, kind of like the cylinders are. But it is a little bit small to get that much distance. Especially durably. There we go. Okay. We can get it on solid ground. There, I want the physics again. Why? Well, at least this is not the hardest in the world. Although, why would I do that? That is open for me, so I can, actively speaking, adjust this crap. Let's get 2 spare. Okay. Just nice. That'll do. Completely forgot about the stinking kinematic complaint that I just had. So, how about we fix that real quick? Why am I so stinking incapable of figuring out what I had to have figured out 1,000 times prior? There we go. Let's be honest, that probably will help. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. Click that. Gap it. Undo what I just did there because that just was so beyond silly. Why would I do that? Check this. There we go. There we go. On that, probably a-okay to just... First off, that. Second off, that, so... Yeah. Don't know. Don't know what I'm doing. But let's see. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Let's redesign everything right before I have to flip and think about whether or not I'm going to actually exit. That's a genius idea, me. Why wouldn't I think of that in general? What problem could there be from doing such an application? Why didn't I think before I acted? The questions I have to face at a consistent basis. So let's go up here. Copy that. Flip him around so that he's thinking, pointing out like that, because that is always the best position to point. Copy it. Destroy it. Destroy it! And then remember that you got other ways of thinking activating the menu other than pressing the stinking exit button, because that's not the flipping way you access the menu in this game. And then finally for the creme de la creme, flattening this out so that it actually flattens the bed and actually does the job that you want it to do. Things like that can help. Sometimes. Other times, not so much. Anything else that I'm forgetting? Does not seem like it. Okay. I could switch this to 2, but I don't really feel like it. This should be fully functional. looking fully functional. Got it. I feel like that whole halfway place is probably the best spot to go, even though, I mean, it's not that far off. I could still thinking go the distance. Like, it's painful and all. Oh, come on. It's painful and all. I can try. I'm not gonna succeed, but I can try. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. I don't want us thinking end up with another to be continued. Can I, like, end up on my butt for a little bit? There we go. Okay. There we go. I probably needed to spread out the base a little bit. Make it 5 wide instead of 6 wide, because that's what seems to be causing some of this motion. Well, I could also extend out the back as well, but that's its own implement. Either way, let's try and get this as far as we can get it. Come on, stop, stink. Okay, there we go. And there we go. Flip again. Flipped again. Flipped again. Why in the world is this something that I try over and over again to accomplish? I have control. I maintain control. Control's a thing that I tend to have in this game, right up until I need it. Oh, come on. No. And there we go again. Come on. Come on. Flip. Stupid pile of stinking crap. There. Why? I know that the actual stinking core plate, the back, is not as wide as you prefer it, but this is obnoxious. There we go. Come on. Don't. I just flipping. Can't keep 6 wheels on the flipping ground. Come on. Sure, that's not gonna flipping do it for the. Stop with your flipping momentum, please. I didn't even turn there. That was just gravity pulling you down, and I had to follow because you're stinking obnoxiousness. Oh my goodness. Come on. I need to switch back. Well. Okay. I have to flipping spam the button so that it actually flipping doesn't go too fast. There we go. There we go. Stop. Again, it's like 0 weight, all weight. 0 weight, all weight. Over and over again. It's so easy to give this thing momentum. So hard to prevent it. Once it's got momentum, it has all the momentum. If it doesn't have all the momentum, then it has none of the momentum. Just stinking stop. Why is a paint bucket this sized? Why? Oh, whatever. Also, gravity's funny, so it's supposed to actively... Look, it... Gravity's funny, so actively speaking has more weight than it's supposed to, but actively speaking, I don't... My tires flipping fail at, like... minor weights. Come on. My voice is stinking. Yes. There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Just calm down. Flipping piece of garbage. I'm trying so hard to just not blooping let myself just lose track. This it's an in-between these spots. That I'm going to have to get through slowly but surely. You've got to be kidding me. It came out the claw again by glitching the crap out of the claw. I feel like I've heard this song and dance before. What the crap was that? Can we please act like gentlemen? I know you're not one. You made that very clear. Okay. Not a wise idea to go down when you need to go up. That's just not a smart idea. It's always harder to go up. I'm just trying my darndest to keep this thing inside of the grip because it keeps on sending the momentum to the degree. Oh, I'm gonna have to go down so I can go up. Unless I go up so I can go down. It's a quick solution, but that'll, actively speaking, help with it. There we go. Hopefully that keeps it above water. No, it's not whatsoever. But it does add weight up top, which is absolutely horrible, so that was all a waste of time. There we go. That's a little better. Speaking of weight up top, you know that thing I just mentioned? Don't even know how you got trapped in that tire, but 35. I just had to choose a flipping paint bucket. I just had to choose a flipping paint bucket. I just had to choose physics game. It has effectively barely a collider to its name. Is this an indie game or is this just... I don't think that's just... I don't even know. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. We got this. We don't really, but I'm gonna pretend. I'm hungry. I want food. I gotta have my stinking lunch. So I'm probably going to try and get this through. Come on. We got this. We got this. Somebody it's gonna be like... I can tell. Nah, that's probably not the case. Not. Probably. Probably. Being severed by someone right now. Unfortunately. Someone has to deal with mana. Why? Why did I make the mistake of choosing this game? How is it that everything I do just makes me go more upside down? How is that even possible? There we go. Only 1.5 left, and then we have a 360-degree gimbal. We don't have auxiliary thrusters, we don't have any of that stuff, because that stuff would be great right now. All I'm getting is a 360-degree gimbal for this. Hooray. Of course. Is there anything that I can do to increase the stability of this stupid piece of garbage? Probably not. I'm probably not even going to try. Not at this point. It just physically is not worth it. Would you know what? I said lots of crap about X, Y, and Z and what I could do, and then I didn't do it. So I'm just gonna do that real quick. In hopes to actively speak and get this crap done. Look at that. Look at the collision on the stinking... Okay, fine. What the... How do you end up with such just... How? Is this... There we go. There we go. Hopefully... Yeah, we can resist some torque now. Not a lot of torque, apparently. The minute that I flipping reverse torque, that just sent it. That's nice. There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I don't care that that's completely and totally just like, not just that I would have to do that. I'm just doing it. There we go. Done! That stupid piece of crap is done. Okay, now we got the 360-degree gimbal. Whatever that's worth. We go over to the 360-degree gimbal. Put that somewhere. And put an object on it. We're sure the only point when it moves is if it thinks it's about to... Yeah, it should be stabilizing. So, like, if I put this on, with this stupid antenna, the antenna should stay upright. Yeah. It's hard to tell, but something is in fact occurring that enables stability to be maintained. That's kind of where this thing can come in to actually help us out with our demonstration over here. Come on. Yeah. So that's up. That's great. That's awesome. We now have that. Silver popcorn for curves that's 2x1. That's nice. Mining laser. Okay, yeah, sure. I'll take a mining laser. That sounds awesome. Plate that's 3x3. Long slider. Corner that's 2x2. Silver explosives. 15 free blend. Triangular panel that's 3x3x3. You know what I think? I think that mining laser looks like it is a great place for us to start next time. The new slider's interesting and all. This is actually accessible. Let's just set that up. And then Where is it? I think it's the title I'm thinking about. Yeah. Also gonna go ahead and kill that because it's stupid. But like or dislike as you will. If you subscribe, welcome to the ride. Don't die, it's no fun. And toodles. Toodles!